Sophie, what is Christmas all about?
It's about spending time with your family and friends and about enjoying that time together and just giving and receiving, really, yeah.
Awesome. Sophie, do you have a Christian background at all?
I don't have a Christian background. I'm atheist myself, but I don't celebrate Christmas for the religious aspect. I celebrate it because it's something to look forward to the end of the year, and it's really good for my sisters and me, and it's fun, yeah.
If a Christian came to you and said, God has got a wonderful plan for your life, how would you interpret that message?
Well, I'm quite open to religion, so I take it as there's something greater, and what I give to the world I'll get back, sort of thing. Not that I fully believe in it, but I guess I'd interpret it as treat others how you want to be treated, sort of thing, and I'll get...
The golden rule.
Yeah.
It's funny because Jesus said that golden rule. That's quite amusing. Okay, so I'm going to go and explain what we believe what Christmas is all about. But before we do that, I'm going to take you through a quick fire round. And then I'm going to take you through a very specific route, and you'll see where this is going in a minute. The first question is, would you consider yourself to be a good person?
Partially, yeah.
What makes a good person?
Someone who takes others' feelings into account, someone who's generous and has empathy, yeah.
Awesome. Have you ever heard of the 10 Commandments before?
Yeah.
Do you remember anyone? It is a quick test.
Okay, I remember love your neighbour, something, thou shalt love their neighbour or something. Don't murder. Be good. Yeah, be good to your parents. Yeah. Don't blaspheme, something like that.
Take God's name in vain.
Yeah, that one. It is like, yeah.
Usually people get stuck on
It's, what is it, like thou shalt love their neighbours or something? I swear it's something like...
It's linked with the first one, which is love the Lord your God, but Jesus added an extra one saying love your neighbour as you love yourself and like that.
I think that's all I can remember, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to test you on the 10 Commandments, and don't worry, I'm not judging you because I've broken them all in some form or another. No, that's an interesting one because Jesus said if you hate someone, it's like murder in your heart, which is quite high standard. Okay, number 9. Have you ever told a lie in your entire life?
Yeah.
What do you call someone who tells a lie?
It depends on whether it's a lie to... Like, I would lie to my boyfriend if he cooked me a meal and he was like, is it nice? And I'd go, yeah, when it isn't.
But we'll talk about, like, telling an untruthful, like, personal gain.
Okay, for personal gain.
Have you ever told a lie that's in that sort of sense?
Yes, I have.
What do you call someone who tells a lie in that sense? Starts with L and rhymes with fire.
A lie? A liar?
Yeah, that's... have you ever stolen anything in your entire life?
From my sister.
Really?
Not just her makeup.
Wait, I assume you gave it back afterwards. Oh, okay, that's okay then. You were borrowing it then. Have you ever stolen anything, regardless of its value? I'm not talking about your sister's makeup, but I mean something like downloading music illegally, or you don't have to admit it on camera, but have you ever gone to work late or left early without by getting paid for it and things like that?
I've only just started my job, but I have downloaded music illegally, I will admit. Yeah.
What do you call someone who steals something?
A kleptomaniac.
Yeah. I'm looking for that specific word.
A thief.
Yeah. Some people say stealer, which is quite amusing. Which one's this? Number 3. Have you ever taken God's name in vain? For example, said, oh my God, or saying Jesus Christ like a swear word?
Yes, I did. Not anymore. Now I say, oh my gosh, or on my days. But
how come? What made you kind of switch?
Well, my boyfriend's grandma, she's really religious, and I was told not to mention the word in front of her, and I was kind of just, because I had to do that, I just kind of adjusted to not use that word, so I kind of just stopped using it in case there were other people that were offended by it. Yeah. Okay,
do you know what the fancy word for that is? It starts with B.
Blasphemy.
And I'll do one more. Have you ever dishonoured your mother or father? So that's commandment number 5.
No.
What about, have they ever told you not to steal or lie?
Yeah, they have.
So do you think, I'm being a bit sneaky, but do you think that in that sense it's dishonouring what your mother and father have taught you?
Yes, but I tell my mum and my dad everything. So when if I've lied or something, I always tell my mum at least. I don't speak bad.
Okay, I won't push that one too hard because it's a bit of a grey area. Okay, I'm not judging, by the way, but by your own admission, you're lying, thieving, and a blasphemer. Okay. If God were to judge you by that standard, I know you're an atheist, but so we'll say consider if God exists. If he was a good judge, he was. Okay. If God were to judge you by that standard, would you be innocent or guilty?
By that specific thing, guilty, but then he takes into account also, I've heard apparently, all the good things I've done in life, and I feel like I've given a lot to my community and a lot for a lot of other people, so I think if it was to weigh up, I've done more good than bad, sort of thing. That's
very interesting. That's what a lot of people say, God will weigh up your good and bad. Whilst I do think God, according to the Bible, does take certain things into account, God doesn't weigh your good and bad because he sees it more like a judge would on this earth. For example, let's say you got caught for speeding a car and you got brought in from the judge and he said, look, judge, I've done more good things than I've done bad things. Can you just let me go? The judge will be like, no, you've still spared. It's good that you've done good things, but I still need to punish you for the bad thing.
It does depend if it's under duress, if they're forced to.
No, I mean if you were caught legitimately for speeding.
Okay. Yeah, I guess in that sense it would be bad, but then again, God isn't a judge. Not specifically. A judge is supposed to base you on the thing you're sent there for, whereas God is supposed to take your whole life into account. Where if he just, I think most people have sinned or done something against what his teachings are, but I don't think that means every single person should go to hell.
No, I see where you're going, logically speaking. You're taking a short step ahead. I'm trying to take a step back. It's okay. So I'm just seeing from purely justice perspective, from the biblical view, God will make us accountable for everything bad we've done. Of course, he will appreciate and love the good things we've done, but being a good judge, he has to punish for the wrong. So if that was the case, and there's more steps to this, so don't worry about that. Would that mean heaven or God's essentially prison, hell?
Essentially, it would be hell. If he's judging,
logically speaking.
Logically, it would be hell. But if he does take in everything we've done, then essentially, I'd say heaven.
We're hoping heaven, because God will see the good that we've done as well.
I'm not sure what will happen after, but that's why I'm an atheist. I like to believe there is something after death. So, in that.
But you're not 100% sure. It sounds kind of agnostic, sort of.
Yeah, I'm open to the idea. The only thing is, I'm not 100% certain on it, and I don't know. Nobody knows what happens after death specifically. So, yeah, I am open to the decision still.
So, if we were to die today, and God was to judge us as a good judge according to his moral law, which is the Ten Commandments, we'll obviously will be guilty, and God would have to legally send us into hell. Do you know what God did? So he can both satisfy his justice, but also his mercy and his love, so he can let us into heaven legally.
No.
You'll probably say yes, understanding, just in a sec.
And it's like repent and stuff like that.
No, because if we just went to the judge and said, I'm really sorry, I won't do it again, they might reduce the sentence.
Like a mitigating factor.
Yeah. So what God did was send Jesus to pay for the crime we've done on the cross, for the penalty. So that when we do put our faith and repent, put our trust in his good works, not our own good works, trying to bribe our way into heaven, he can legally let us into heaven because Jesus has paid for the fine that we cannot pay ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What do you think about that sort of message in essence?
I guess that shows a bit of understanding on God's part that not everyone is perfect, and I guess because Jesus sacrificed himself, it's sort of people should take that into account, that somebody has sacrificed themselves for our goodwill. Yeah.
What are the two things that someone must do to accept that gift? of forgiveness, of that legal forgiveness and that love that God has done for us. I said two things. I probably said it so fast you've probably forgotten. It's okay.
Things, okay.
Was that fancy word starting with R?
Repent.
Yeah. And what was the other one? Do you remember?
No.
It's faith. It's like our confidence, our trust. Yeah, like you would put our faith in a pilot. When you go on a plane, you have good faith that the pilot will take you to your destination safely because he has experience and everything like that. So you have good faith that God will forgive us of our sin through what Jesus has done for us on the cross. And that means there's some security in that. For example, there's a difference between, I won't go all preach on you, I'll just sum up in a minute. There's a difference between Christianity and other religions based on this key factor. Other religions have to work their way into heaven through righteousness, righteous deeds, and hoping that God will see the balance. But there's no security in that because they'll never know if they're good enough to go to heaven. But through Christ, you have that security knowing that he has already paid for the sin. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Sophie, thank you so much for having this discussion with us. I want to give you a pack. Have you got a Bible at home?
No, I don't.
I'm going to give a pack. It's got chocolate in it and a Bible and contact details if you ever got any questions or curiosity or anything like that. And that's basically the summarization of why Christians celebrate. Sorry?
It wasn't offensive.
No, not at all. If anything, I was worried I was being offensive to you.
No, definitely not.
Good. And that if God does exist, and if you're curious of the evidence for God's existence, we can go through that off camera or whatever anyway, that if he does exist, he's just, and we need that lifeboat to save us, and because he loves us. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Sophie.